When we think of deadly creatures, most people imagine sharks, lions, or snakes. But what if I told you that the most dangerous killers on Earth are much smaller? So small, in fact, that you might not even notice them. Insects. Tiny, silent, and often invisible, yet responsible for more human deaths every year than any other group of animals on the planet. Today, we're diving into the most dangerous insects on Earth, and why they are far deadlier than you think. In the quiet corners of our world, in the still, forgotten pools of water, a killer is born. It's a creature so common we barely notice it, so small we dismiss it as a mere nuisance. But in the grand, brutal calculus of nature, there is no animal more lethal. We begin our journey with the deadliest creature of all, the mosquito. It might look harmless, just a tiny, fragile insect with a soft, almost melodic buzz. Its wings, beating hundreds of times per second, are a marvel of biological engineering. Its body, a delicate wisp that can be extinguished with a single clap. But this apparent fragility is a masterful deception. The mosquito is a silent, stealthy hunter, honed by millions of years of evolution to find us, to feed on us, and to move on without a trace. Forget sharks, lions, or snakes. Their combined toll on human life is a mere fraction of this insect's work. The mosquito is responsible for more than 700,000 deaths every single year. It has claimed more human lives than all the wars in history combined. Its lethality comes not from its bite, but because of what it carries. The female mosquito requires a blood meal to nourish her eggs, and her quest for this vital protein turns her into the world's most efficient disease vector. Her proboscis isn't a simple needle. It's a sophisticated set of 6 stylets that pierce the skin, anchor her in place, and probe for a capillary, all while injecting saliva that prevents our blood from clotting. And in that saliva, it delivers its invisible payload. Mosquitoes transmit a terrifying arsenal of deadly diseases: malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, and yellow fever, to name just a few. The process is terrifyingly simple. When a mosquito bites an infected person or animal, it ingests microscopic parasites or viruses along with the blood. These pathogens then multiply inside the mosquito's own body. When it bites its next victim, it passes those pathogens directly into their bloodstream, turning a simple itch into a potential death sentence. The scale of the devastation is difficult to comprehend. Malaria alone infects hundreds of millions of people every year, causing cycles of debilitating fever, chills, and organ failure. In many regions, especially across sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Asia, the nightly buzz of a mosquito is one of the biggest threats to human life. Generations have grown up under the shadow of this tiny killer, with simple tools like bed nets forming the front line in a relentless war. And the scariest part? They're everywhere. From the most remote jungles to the most densely populated cities, they have adapted and thrived. As global temperatures rise, their habitats are expanding, bringing these ancient diseases to new, unprepared populations. They are a constant buzzing reminder that the deadliest things often come in the smallest packages. Now let's move on to an insect that doesn't rely on disease, but pure pain: the bullet ant. Found in the rainforests of Central and South America, the bullet ant is known for having one of the most painful stings in the world. People who have been stung describe the pain as being shot by a bullet, hence the name. The pain can last for up to 24 hours, causing intense burning, shaking, and temporary paralysis. While the sting is not usually deadly, it can be overwhelming and completely disabling. Next, we have the assassin bug. This insect may look ordinary, but it carries a hidden danger. Some species of assassin bugs can transmit Chagas disease, a potentially life-threatening illness. The way it spreads is disturbing. The bug bites a person, usually near the face, and then leaves behind infected waste near the wound. When the person scratches the bite, the parasite enters the body. Chagas disease can cause heart failure and serious digestive problems over time. Millions of people are affected by this disease, especially in Latin America. Now let's talk about something even more aggressive. A creature born from a scientific experiment gone terribly wrong. In the 1950s, scientists in Brazil were attempting to create a new hybrid bee, one that would be better suited to tropical climates and produce more honey. They crossbred the gentle European honeybee with a notoriously hardy but aggressive subspecies from Africa. The goal was to combine the best traits of both. But in 1957, a visiting beekeeper accidentally released 26 swarms of these experimental bees. They didn't just survive, they thrived, rapidly expanding their territory and interbreeding with local bee populations. This accidental release unleashed what we now know as the Africanized honeybee, or more menacingly, the killer bee. The name isn't just for show. While their venom is no more potent than a regular honeybee's, their behavior is radically different. European bees are relatively docile, typically only defending the immediate vicinity of their hive. Africanized bees, however, are hyper-defensive. They perceive threats from much farther away, sometimes over 50 feet, and react with overwhelming force. The slightest disturbance, a loud noise, a vibration, even a shadow passing over their nest, can trigger a full-scale defensive response. And when they attack, they don't send a few guards. They attack in a massive, furious swarm. They are relentless, chasing their target for a quarter of a mile or more. Unlike their European cousins who might give up the chase after a short distance, Africanized bees will not stop. The danger lies in the sheer numbers. A single honeybee dies after it stings a mammal, leaving its barbed stinger behind. But in a swarm attack, a victim can receive 10 times as many stings as they would from a European colony. Hundreds or even thousands of stings inject a massive dose of venom into the bloodstream, leading to toxic shock, organ failure, and for many, death. Even a healthy adult can succumb to this venom overload. Safety protocols are critical. If you encounter a swarm, do not stand still. Run in a straight line, cover your head and face, and seek shelter in a car or building immediately. Do not jump into water, they will wait for you to surface. Since their accidental introduction, these bees have been responsible for over 1,000 deaths, a stark reminder of nature's unintended consequences. Now imagine walking through the jungle and suddenly stepping into a nest. There's almost no time to react. Next, we have the Tsetse fly. This insect is found in parts of Africa and is responsible for spreading a deadly disease known as sleeping sickness. When the Tsetse fly bites, it injects parasites into the bloodstream. At first, symptoms might seem mild: fever, headaches, fatigue. But as the disease progresses, it affects the brain. Victims experience confusion, loss of coordination, and eventually fall into a coma. Without treatment, the disease is often fatal. For centuries, the tsetse fly has affected both humans and livestock, shaping entire regions and limiting where people can live. In the world of tiny killers, some threats are direct and immediate, but others are far more insidious, operating through stealth and deception. Now let's dive into a creature whose danger isn't in its own bite or sting, but in the horrifying gift it leaves behind. This is the human botfly. Found primarily in the tropical regions of Central and South America, this insect has perfected a chillingly brilliant survival strategy. Unlike other parasites, the adult botfly never makes direct contact with its human host. It doesn't need to. Instead, it employs a method known as foracy, using another insect as an unwitting taxi service. The female botfly will capture a blood-sucking insect, typically a mosquito, and glue her eggs to its body. When that mosquito lands on a warm-blooded host, like a human, the sudden increase in temperature triggers the botfly eggs to hatch almost instantly. The tiny larvae then drop onto the skin. From there, they seek out a hair follicle or the fresh bite wound left by the mosquito and begin to burrow head-first into the flesh. Yes, into the skin. Once inside, the larva creates a chamber for itself. It will live there for the next 5 to 12 weeks, feeding on subcutaneous tissue and growing larger each day. To breathe, it maintains a tiny hole, called a spiracle, open to the air. This parasitic tendency results in a painful, swollen lesion that can feel like it's moving or twitching as the larva shifts beneath the surface. Many victims report a disturbing sensation of something being alive under their skin because, well, there is. A common myth is that you can simply squeeze the larva out, but this is dangerous. Squeezing can rupture the larva, releasing foreign proteins into the body and triggering a severe inflammatory reaction or infection. The safest removal method involves suffocating the larva by covering its breathing hole, often with petroleum jelly or thick tape. This forces it to migrate towards the surface, where it can be carefully extracted with forceps. While an infestation is rarely deadly, the risk of secondary bacterial infection is high if the wound isn't kept clean. It remains one of the most profoundly unsettling examples of how intimately and invasively insects can interact with the human body. Finally, let's talk about one of the smallest, but deadliest insects, the flea. Fleas may seem insignificant, but historically, they have caused massive destruction. During the Middle Ages, fleas carried the bacteria responsible for the Black Death. This pandemic killed an estimated 75 to 200 million people in Europe. Fleas spread the disease by biting infected rodents and then biting humans. In just a few years, entire populations were wiped out. Even today, fleas can still transmit diseases, though modern medicine has reduced their impact. So what makes these insects so dangerous? It's not just their size or strength. It's their ability to spread disease, attack in numbers, or invade the body in ways we can't easily stop. They are silent killers, invisible threats. And they remind us that danger doesn't always come from the biggest creatures. Sometimes, it comes from the smallest. So the next time you hear a tiny buzz near your ear, you might think twice, because in the world of insects, size means nothing.